Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this daily Hindu analysis with you video. In the morning these videos come, in the evening PIB videos come, and the PDF you get on the Telegram channel and Facebook group of mine, and there I have also given my Telegram channel's link, and the PDF you get daily. And don't miss any lesson. All these MCQs, all these datas are extremely important. Maximum amount of current affairs you will see in the question paper of this year prelims examination. So 16th of March, and motivation: always accept your mistakes, whatever it is, whoever it is, and anyway if you are criticized, always listen to that and never be depressed after listening. Always work on your lacks. That is the only key to improve your personality, and if your personality is improved, your traits are improved, and your habits are improved, then you will become successful. So always listen to your criticism. Never deny that. Never counter your criticism, or if anybody is trying to insult you or something like that, always listen to that. Although it's a difficult thing when somebody insults you, somebody criticizes you, then to remain calm, it's a difficult thing, but always do that. That's a simple statement. Next, Transports Internationaux Routiers TIR Convention is aimed at harmonizing the administrative formalities of international road transport. Perfectly correct statement. In 2017 June, we signed this TIR Convention, and it was under a UN's body, and FICCI from India, Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, that has been designated as a guaranteeing association that no problem would be there in the fair transportation by road, and it is across continents, across countries. So this convention is very important. It is important for road transport. Okay, so let me tell you some details. The answer is only one here. India signed it in 15th June 2017, and this TIR convention was under a United Nations Custom Convention on International Transport of Goods. Okay, so TIR Carnets they are calling it, and it is managed by International Road Transport Union, IRU. The headquarters is in there, is in Geneva, and overseen by United Nations Economic Commission for Europe, because the countries of Europe are involved here. And you can see International North-South Transport Corridor, INSTC. In the red line you can see it, and this is the shortest path by road. What is the reference here? India recently got its first consignment through Chabahar port. Here you can see it is Bandar Abbas, the main port of Iran, and it is Chabahar port. So from Afghanistan through Chabahar port at Mumbai, we have got our first consignment under this TIR convention. So that is important for us. INSTC you can see here in the red line. First they used to come from this particular route, and now they are coming through this particular route, and because of Chabahar port, because we can access it, we are developing it, it's extremely important for us, and it is supportive of the INSTC corridor. Okay, so TIR convention is important here. They may ask you a question regarding that this year. Next, Global Environment Outlook, GEO. As I told you earlier also, GEO 6th edition. This is the 6th edition. It started way back in 1997 by UNEP. It's a flagship environmental assessment report. And every year you have question in prelims examination regarding one of the reports, whether it is by World Bank, whether it is by World Economic Affairs, or this UNEP, or any other body. So the first option, first statement is correct, and second is wrong, because it is 6th one. And Summer Davos venue. Summer Davos is different from the normal Davos summit, that is regarding World Economic Forum. Under this World Economic Forum only, in China, there is an annual meeting for these champions of innovation, and regarding the Industrial Revolution 4.0, whatever contribution, whatever new additions, whatever integrations by these champions of innovations, or maybe scientists, maybe students, scholars, and important dignitaries, and they all are important stakeholders in this particular summit, and it is called Summer Davos, and it is under World Economic Forum only. China recently, I think 2 years back, it gave its speech in World Economic Forum for the first time. So after that, this summer Davos became much more important, and summer Davos is a annual event in China. So China is the venue there. Next, a turmeric variety, that is Erode turmeric. Erode is a important place in Tamil Nadu, so the state would be Tamil Nadu as an answer here. And it got the GI tag, geographical indication tag. And you see this GI tag issue is related to WTO measures and intellectual property right measures, specifically GI tag, geographical indication tag. And it was after a long struggle of 8 years that it got the GI tag. Erode turmeric. Next, silver iodide chemical mainly used in cloud seeding. Cloud seeding means there are clouds. How these are formed? These are formed out of the humidity which is present in the air. But not always the humidity can create clouds, because condensation nuclei, that is a central unit, the dust particles mainly, which are present always in the air. So they work as the condensation nuclei, and around this condensation nuclei, the whole humidity that is condensed, and because on the higher heights, upper layers of the atmosphere, around 6 to 12 kilometers of height, so the humidity which is there in the air, that is condensed here, and the humidity is forming clouds here, but the formation is dependent on this condensation nuclei. So dust particle work as that, but sometimes the condensation nuclei, they are not able to form these clouds. So at that particular time, evaporation is there and heat is there, low atmospheric pressure is there on the ground, but clouds are not forming. So at that time, cloud seeding is a important solution, and argentum or the silver iodide, AgI, is the important chemical that is used as this condensation nuclei, and around it the whole humidity or the water vapor that is gonna condense here, and that is gonna form the cloud here. How this is formed? You see, from the ground evaporation happens, and due to the environmental lapse rate, it loses temperature and it reaches up to these heights, and here the water droplets are formed and they are super cooled, and the clouds are formed around these new condensation nuclei. Okay, so AgI. Next, this important article, fresh warning, it is again the same issue regarding that we discussed the question about the global environment outlook. This 6th edition report, important assessment by UNEP. So it is talking about the climate change issue, and specifically India is targeted here, because some days back we saw the list where out of 20 most polluted cities, India was having 15 cities. So nothing can be worse than that. Healthy planet, healthy people is the theme in this report, and in which way we are moving, it is showing us the mirror. It is saying that the linear model of economics that is being followed by nations today, they are all being blind. They are following economic growth, but they are exploiting the nature. They are not thinking about the consequences on the environment and the ecosystem. So it's a blind model, and here in this model we need more and more materials, raw materials, leading to chemical flowing into air, water and land, and that is unbearable, and there must be some limit. You just think, you don't clean your house for 5 days and you just see that how much dirt is deposited in your house. The same is happening with the earth. Who is cleaning this earth? Nobody. This whole dirt, which the whole waste that we are creating, that is reaching up to oceans, and all these gases, chemicals, they are released in air, water and land, and they are again coming to us in the form of breathing, in the form of contaminated water or the polluted land. And these crops, vegetables, we all are eating these chemicals. So ultimately it is harming us only. And you see, we are not being aware about it, and specifically the condition of India, where we are not questioning those ministers who claimed that hang us on the street if we are not going to clean the river like Ganga, and 27,000 crore rupees are in a way wasted till now, because there is no substantial improvement in the condition of rivers. Recently Supreme Court ordered Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh Sarkar that you give this report regarding these rivers, how much you have cleaned and what is the status. So we are not questioning these things. So it is a mistake from our side as a unaware citizens also. We should question our authorities who are always saying that always there are fund crunches, always there are dearth of finances and other supports, and executions are very difficult, but still they manage to allot some funds and thousands of crores of rupees are given for these recycling processes and cleaning the environment in all these missions. But what is the result? We can easily see. And what is the status of rivers like Yamuna and Ganga? Anybody can go and watch himself, because it is the reality. It is not any kind of a false claim. False claims are those which these ministers are making every day on every platform. The reality can be seen everywhere. But you see, we are not aware and we do not accept this responsibility. And I'm talking about us because we are the most responsible person here. And if we are not aware, nobody is going to help us. Because rich people, they are indulged in making environment worse and worse. 10% of the most wealthy person on the earth, they are responsible for more than 50 to 60% of these emissions and climate change. And the bottom 50% people, they are responsible for around 10 to 13% of emissions. Means they don't have the responsibility, but they bear the consequences. And these troubles are created by mainly these people. So these powerful people, rich people, they are not gonna say anything about it. They are not gonna do anything about it because they are not bearing the consequences. They have the power to shift these problems to poor population. So that is why every citizen needs to be aware about this. And the UN report shows us that we are moving in a very wrong direction. And the model that whole world is following today, it's a problematic thing. But especially the country like India, where in 2017 maximum number of people, they lost their lives. Around 1.24 million people, they lost their lives because of air pollution. So what can be more dangerous than this situation? And where this waste is going on? You see, 30 lakh rupees were wasted on buying perfume in Mumbai because there was too much of smell coming from those mountains of garbage. So lakhs of rupees were invested in buying the perfume so that the smell would not affect the people. You see, these kind of solutions we have, these kind of funny solutions we have. Every layman can understand this thing, that smell is not gonna stop because it is consistently being created. Bacteria are working there. We need solid waste management, but we don't care. That is the most problematic area where we are not able to do anything. Less than 10%, or in a reality it is around 5% of the waste, solid waste, we are able to recycle. Apart from that, rest of the amount, it is being accumulated somewhere, or it is being released into these drains, ultimately into rivers and oceans, and we are not caring about this. Every day we are polluting more and more our drinking sources. Third World War is going to happen because of the drinking water. But we are so foolish, a generation, that we are polluting our clean water sources. We are polluting our rivers. You see the condition of Yamuna, you see the condition of Musi river near Hyderabad. These rivers, they flow in black color. So dirty these rivers are, and they are so smelly. Nobody can pass through these bridges and all. So we need to think here. We need to seriously make these assessments. We need to seriously think about our approaches, and that these reports are saying. And you see some leaders in the world, they are denying these issues. The way Trump says that climate change is a hoax. And now what is happening? This is so shameful. And now kids, they skip their schools for one day all over the world, and they said that take care about our future. Our future is in your hands, and you are deciding about these things, these approaches. Because these kids, they are gonna grow in this particular environment. We will anyhow survive. We will leave the earth very soon. Means maybe in some decades. But What about those generations which are about to come? About those kids, they would live their life in this dangerous environment where pollution is there in the air, your drinking sources are polluted, and the land where crops are being grown, they are having extremely dangerous chemicals. And that is why we have been observing the consequences, the way cancer cases are rising with a so fast a speed that things are unimaginably scary. So we need to think about our environment, we need to think about our ecosystem and the balance of it. And first we need to think about our economic models that the report is targeting here. And India as a country has a very huge responsibility. Although we are a developing nation, we can set aside many responsibilities. We may say that we are not that much capable, but ultimately it is about the life. Ultimately the burden would be there, that would not vanish anywhere in the air, that would stay, and the consequences we would have to bear here. Okay, so this is the thing that is given in this particular report, and we need to be very, very careful. And you see, when these elections are coming, then these should be the topics to discuss, and we should ask question to these authorities. Our work is not done just by trolling someone on the social media. That thing is never gonna be beneficial. Always we need to ask these questions. Always we need to think about our this security also. Border security is not the thing that all we need. We also need this kind of security, and that is much more dangerous here, because people are losing their lives because of these disease, because of these environmental conditions, climate change, air pollution, way more than the people are killed in wars and in terrorist attacks. So these things are also very, very important. This security should also be guaranteed, and that is why it is coming under the Article 21, where safe environment is the constitutional right. Next, this article is not that much important for us. It is only talking about a particular emotional issue which is there between India and Pakistan, the way partition happened, and things are unresolved, and emotions are very high, and always the politics is manipulating the history according to their needs, and people, they are always fooled by these emotions. That's the thing the writer wants to say here. He is quoting Krishna Sopti, the important Hindi novelist. She died in month of January recently, and all her life she was talking about this issue, and she was not happy with this partition, and the way leaders like Gandhi, they lost their lives, and the brotherhood that is always a kind of a funny thing between India and Pakistan relations, because we have become enemies forever. And you see, when people, they want peace, people want to survive, but leaders and these conflicts, terror attacks, these things are never supportive of this fraternity, because you see, we cannot ignore the martyrdom of our soldiers who are protecting our country. But you see, the reason we are not assessing why these things are happening, and why we are not able to contain these things. At the time of partition, many people lost their lives. Women, kids, normal people, they were the consequence bearers, and thousands or lakhs of them, they lost their lives. And here the complaint by the writer is that we have been indifferent about the issue and disdain for the past. You see, always history can be interpreted in any way. Any king would come, any ruler would come, they would write history according to their needs. So history can never be proved, but always the logic and the analytical ability and right understanding, they can make us understand the real situation, that what is happening. And you see, you can see today what is happening, what has been happening after independence. Always elections come, and these people, they would try to evoke these provoke these emotions, always, because it's an unsettled emotional past, and people are deeply hurt about that, and many lives we have lost. Soldiers thousands of our soldiers, they have lost their lives. So that is a very emotional issue for us. So we become emotional and we fall into this particular political trap always. And these people, they are happy and they will rule us, they will keep ruling us, and this issue will never be resolved, because we do not think about the real thing, that we were people and the division was created and fault lines were created because of this intolerance issue, which never used to be there in our culture. But some people brought this, some people then appreciated this particular intolerance, and the two nation theory came after that. All this partition happened, and after that these ongoing conflicts and the new phase of terror attacks, that is there as a new version of it. So we are not understanding the situation, and always we become active in the same way. And now new ways are available, social media, and what we are doing means we are not looking at the solutions. We are just trapped into this continuous situation where we are always provoked and we are behaving in the same way. So this thing will keep going on, and always politicians, they will keep taking the advantage of it, and always they would put these genuine arguments that nation is first priority, security is our first priority. But we saw in the environment article that that is also a priority, that is also a kind of a security that we need. We need security from these disease also, we need security from these systematic troubles also. So when they provoke these emotions, and mainly when they manipulate history according to their needs just for the political gains, then we should understand all these things. Here the writer wants to say through this particular article that some points came in history where SAARC was established in 1985 and the hope was created, but after that the issues were not resolved between these three countries, Bangladesh, Pakistan and India mainly. They were one nation, and they were created out of those emotional issues and intolerance issues, religious issues. So till the time these things are not resolved, till the time the behavioral troubles, they are not resolved, means it's like two brothers fighting. If both are maintaining their egos, and if these both are taking these conflicts to generations, then the same kind of situation would evolve. And it started with the behavioral troubles, and we still have those, and we have total symptoms that we are appreciating those behaviors again and again. Continuously we are going into that trap, and in actual condition, when we are supporting these wars, we are provoking these things in a way, and we are consistently losing our soldiers' lives, and we are not able to do anything then to go towards war. That means we are the utter fools. And who are we? We mean our people. We, the people who are supporting, who are provoking those situations that go and destroy Pakistan, and the same people which are there in Pakistan who are saying that go and destroy the country of India. So we are not able to understand these conflicts and what are their regions, where are the roots. We need to find that, and we need to solve these emotional troubles. The same thing happens with the human mind. When some unresolved emotional troubles are there, they will always disturb your performance, your future, whatever you would do, they would always come to disturb you, because anytime they can invoke your emotions and they may disturb you. The same thing happens here, and every time in the elections, these people, politicians, they would raise them just to get advantage there. So ominous uncertainty hangs over the subcontinent, best expressed by the availability of nuclear weapons to end potential conflicts. And we all know nuclear nukes we cannot use, because it is total destruction. It is the end of the humanity. So are we going to solve this issue by ending the humanities? No, there is no option like that. We need to solve this thing in a different way. And for these terror attacks, as I told you, the writer does not mention the terror attacks here. These are needed here, because they have become the biggest reality today, that we are attacked in this way always. So how can we ignore that? We know about the peace proposals, we know about these issues, but we cannot miss those things. So for that also we need to work a lot. And in the previous articles we have suggested many times that these robust intelligence, robust technological advancement, all these upgradations that we need to do, these are going to solve the problems. And these covert actions and all on these real culprits, these are going to solve the problems. But going on a war it's a different meaning, it's a different situation. And in Pakistan, partition is presented as the unfinished business, and in India is still viewed as a wound inflicted by Muslims and Britishers. So we are not coming out of that, and we are continuing that thing. We are not being innovative here. We are not being innovative in our thinking. And this solution would not come by war or any kind of force. The people, they need to come towards each other, and the whole population, crores of people, they need to take initiative in that direction. And then if these authorities or leaders or military, they are going to create troubles between that process, then the thing would be out that who is really supporting these negative escalations. But we need to take steps here. Okay, so today we cannot talk about fraternity and the things which were integrated in our constitution. Today we cannot think about that, because these are escalated situations. We are in a different mood, but we need to solve those things. So here some things are given, and the same ideological issue is there. Some deep thinking is involved here, but for the examination, you see, they don't seem to be of much importance. But for the learning, but for some GS paper 4 maturity that is needed in that paper, so that you can get there in this article. Next, model policy for women in the police. This article is from the 14th of March paper, important for GS paper 2 and 1 both. It is talking about the equality for women, especially in the police department. You see, 7% of the police strength in India, that is constituted by women, and 30% reservation is a proposal by some states and union territories that for some specific ranks we would allow women there. And the writer wants to say here that giving this reservation is not enough. We need better policies here, and no state till now, not a single state till now has attempted to even draft such a policy, because without policy, without legal provisions, without these executions, and without the actual drives on these issues, giving reservation only is not gonna help women. Real equality is not achieved. You see, all these issues are coming after the International Women's Day, and yesterday we talked about those issues related to troubles for women, and the way we are mocking these important issues. Capitalism, socialism, all we discussed. So they all are talking about equality. And here also a very important area where if we look towards these cases of sexual abuse, these cases of trafficking of women and kids, you see, if there would have been equal numbers of women in the forces, then situations certainly would have been different. You see, we see many examples on social media and all. One officer from UP, she was so daring that all her colleagues and who were males, and they were ready to bow before these politicians, but she was not giving up, and she was not giving in to this situation, and she was following the case in a honest manner, and she was showing everyone that these male counterparts, they did not have any courage, because these criminals and these culprits, they were having a backing from a political party, but she set the example there. So these kind of things, they prove that women are really daring, and we can have many examples in the forces also. And today there is no lack of evidence that women are much more sincere in their work. So they should be given this equality, the equal opportunity in all these areas, and especially in the police force. As a society, the kind of problems we have, we certainly need women to be there, but these are denied the equality. And achieving the target of 30% or more in a time bound manner is needed, but real policies are only going to bolster this particular motive. Otherwise this thing would become a hollow thing. And one more important thing, when we talk about police department, the main issue is of the sexual abuse of these employees. The numbers are very less, only 7%, but most of them, they are being victims of this issue at the workplace, by their colleagues, by their seniors. They are actually pressured to comply, and many times they are assaulted. So the act that is there, 2013 Act of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace, Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal. So mainly this act is needed in the police department. So you see, at one place they are demanding equality, and one place they are demanding this protection, because today the condition is weak. Today the condition is not being supportive. So this act should support them, and that would bring them to equality. And after that, they would show that how much capable these women are. And central government, state government, all need to run these recruitment drives at district levels. They should identify the real courageous women and who wants to serve the nation, and certainly they would be less involved in corruption and all these negativities which are pervading through these departments. One of the most corrupt departments are police departments. That is the reality, and police reforms are also needed. So alongside these police reforms, this equality is the dire need today. Okay. Next information, as Supreme Court issues notice to Election Commission on plea to verify at least 50% VVPATs. You see 21 opposition parties who are having around a base of 70 to 75% of people's vote. You see, these people never won, but they have vote share of 70 to 75% collectively, 21 opposition parties. So they are demanding that 50% at least VVPAT machines, the voter verified paper audit trails, they should be checked. What is the existing rule that in one constituency any random booth would be selected, and at that booth any one machine would be checked. If that is working fine, then there is that's okay, the final report is a okay report. But if that is not working, then that machine would be replaced. But they don't do anything about the other machines which can be working in a wrong manner. So they are not checking those. So this thing is actually problematic, and many officers, even retired IAS officers, they have complained about this issue, that you are only checking one machine. So now Supreme Court has issued this notice to Election Commission that one officer would be appointed for that, and at least 50% of these VVPAT machines, they would be verified. Okay, so that's very important and needed one, because after this move only, many of these confusions regarding these machines and some these issues of EVM tampering, they may subside. Next, after supporting our move against Masood Azhar, France slaps sanctions on Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar. You see, China blocked this move. This move was brought by France, USA and UK, but China blocked it, and after that China declared that we are ready for this tripartite agreement and all. So that came as a news, but now France has slapped these sanctions against Masood Azhar, and now he won't be able to access these French financial resources. So this move is a positive sign from the international community, and mainly a nation who is under the P5 category, permanent 5. Next, regarding the olive ridley turtle, you see every year they come on Odisha's beach and all other states' beaches, but main site is the Odisha's Gaidmata beach near the Rishikulia river's mouth. So the Aribada, you must have heard about this Aribada. In one examination this was asked that Aribada is a term related to whom? So olive ridley turtles, these are vulnerable category turtles, and they are involved in mass nesting. First, these females They cross thousands of kilometers oceanic waters, and they come towards these beaches. They dig holes here, and around 1 to 2 feet holes they would dig, and here they would lay these eggs. One specific thing about these olive ridley turtles and these females are that where they were hatched, okay, from where they started their journey of their lives, at the same place they would come back again and they would lay their eggs, and after they would move towards ocean. And when these eggs they are hatched and these newborns they are coming out, then synchronous in a synchronous manner they will all move towards ocean, and this phenomena is called arribada, and it is specific regarding olive ridley turtles. Okay, so that's important, and the news is regarding that, and this information is important for prelims examination. Next, one more unfortunate information, where army is removing spikes to keep jumbos off. Means this way was devised where they built these platforms on the ground, and these iron spikes they were planted here, and you see these people never thought that these jumbos or elephants they are having thousands of kilograms of weight, and during the night time when it's dark everywhere, when they will move, and their weight would be pressed against these spikes, what condition would be there. And because of this cruel thing, many elephants they died, and now they have understood this thing and they are removing these spikes. But you see how cruel that was. That was not the way that you try to move them away from this particular area. That's not the way, because these are animals, they won't understand very much, and certainly they would step on these things and they would lose their lives, and so much painful that condition would be. At least 2 elephants in sanctuary died of septicemia, means when they stepped here and all blood loss was there, some the hole was created into their legs and all, and their whole weight that was brought down there on these spikes, and that elephant died of pain. So you can imagine the condition here, how foolish these officials are who are devising these kind of cruel ways. This trouble is going on, you see, man animal conflict, and elephant corridors is a very famous phenomena which are created so that the smooth passage is available to these elephants, because elephants are very heavy animals, and they are crushed sometimes under these wheels of trains, and they are hit by trains sometimes. Every time they lose their lives, and the situation becomes very painful, and you cannot watch those dead bodies the way they die with these accidents. So that's why elephant corridors are created, and in the countries of Europe, America, these things are really a concern, and they take very serious steps regarding that. They have transformed these landscapes and these forest areas from where these highways and railway lines are going. But in India, you see, we don't care much about these poor animals. So things are going on like this, and we need to make many reforms here. Now the MCQs try their answers and try to find additional data, and certainly you will have many current affair questions directly or indirectly this year's examination. I'm finding them with all my ability. And now the map question. One interesting question I'm giving you. Try to find shortest and lengthiest routes which can be there between these states. Now shortest ones, lengthiest one can be of any distance, but shortest ones you need to find. One question was there in 2017 prelims that find the shortest route. How many states you would have to cross between Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh? So the answer was only 4. Chhattisgarh, because you see with a very small boundary, the Uttar Pradesh and Chhattisgarh they are attached, and here Chhattisgarh is meeting with Andhra Pradesh with this particular passage, and from Andhra Pradesh you can enter into Tamil Nadu. So only 1, 2, 3 and 4 states are crossed. So that was a very interesting question, and this way many states are there in India, and you need to find the shortest ways here. Okay, you may make many line diagrams here, and you may make many points here, some notes you can make out of it, but this topic is very important and very interesting one. PDF you will get here on this particular Facebook group, and Telegram links channel is also given on this group. Thanks a lot. Keep watching. It was Amit Sani. You can send me a request. I would